Boom, what is up, everybody? How's it going? So good to see you guys. Happy to be live again. It's been a few weeks since we've been live, and today we're going to be talking about the Q4 2020 Amazon FBA return policy. Now, before we start, if you appreciate and like the content that myself and Just One Dime bring, then give a thumbs up to this video right here. That'll help it to go even further. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. If you don't, let me know how we can improve. Okay. So guys, I'm just going to jump right in. Let me just give you a real quick overview, because what I'm going to talk about is going to have a direct impact on what you're doing this quarter. Some of this stuff is really exciting, and I will be honest, some of it is kind of scary. So today we're going to talk about Q4 2020 holiday returns policy. And I'm going to begin by showing you exactly what these changes mean, how this is going to affect your Amazon FBA business, and then what you need to do right now in light of this. And then I'm going to answer questions about this topic at the end. So stay towards the end if you have any questions or anything I can help you with. But it's great to see you guys. I hope your week is going really, really well. Okay, so first of all, let me just give you the news. And if you haven't heard it yet, you're going to soon. Your Amazon customer can return a product 4 months after it was shipped. Again, your Amazon customer can return a product up to 4 months after it was shipped. So for example, if they buy your product on October the 1st, they can return that product on January the 31st. Now, the reason this is a little mind-blowing is in the history of Amazon, we have never, ever seen a shift of this magnitude when it comes to the return policy. And we have some really interesting reactions to this online. If you hop into some of those Amazon seller forums, I don't know if you guys spend any time there for entertainment. It's sort of like the Reddit for Amazon. One person said this: horrible, as if Amazon customers didn't already abuse sellers when it comes to Amazon return policy. Soon, Amazon will be asking us to send customers merchandise for free. Let the customer keep it for several months and then decide if they want to pay for it. Shameful. Let me give you another response. What an absolute pathetic joke. Where does Amazon lose anything at all? Where and when do these foolish policies of victimizing sellers stop? Where? Why not undefined? Return window? Just use products and return them whenever convenient, right? And let me give you another response. Why should we even bother with a return policy anyways? Might as well make it 6 months a year or return this refund for everyone at that point. And then someone named goodseller_2483 kind of capped it off with this comment: just wondering how many sellers stop selling now because of this Amazon policy. So this is just a little sample of how upset some people are about this policy, specifically Amazon sellers. And I get it. You're selling a product. You don't want the customer to have the power to return the product 4 months after shipping it. Like, that seems pretty crazy. I mean, we are talking an entire third of a year. This is 1/3 of a year they can return the product if they want to, which means you're not going to make money on the product in most situations. In fact, you will lose money on the product. So let me just give you guys a little bit of perspective. And I want you to understand a couple things. I want you to understand Amazon's motive. Amazon from day one has always made everything revolve around the customer, which does feel frustrating to us as Amazon sellers at times. And I agree with that. I think some of these comments, even though they're a little extreme, I get why they're upset. But Amazon is bolstering customer confidence. Their philosophy goes like this: if I can make the customer happy, then more Amazon sellers will want to sell here because we're driving so much traffic to our platform. And because they're now responsible for more than 50% of all online sales, which have only grown since the pandemic, COVID-19, they have the power to do this. So the real question is, should you stop selling in Amazon, or what can you do? And I'm going to explain exactly what you can do about that. First, let me give you perspective and a little walk down history. In 2017, the return window was 30 days. In 2018 and 2019, the return window was 90 days. And now in 2020, it is up to 120 days. Now, take a peek on the inside. COVID-19 grew online sales, shut down lots and lots of brick and mortar stores, and more people are buying online than in the history of the world. Like, since the internet was first an idea, more people are buying online. You could even argue to say that Amazon has increased people's trust to buy online, because when someone goes online, there's always the risk, can I get a return? Can I get a refund? Can I trust this person? Well, if I can get a refund and return within up to 4 months, then that's like, why not? And so that really has increased people's concept, their idea of buying online. CNBC.com came out with this announcement. For the third quarter, Amazon announced they expect net sales to come in between 87 billion and 93 billion, representing year-over-year growth between 24 and 33%. Just to give you perspective, in the second quarter, Amazon did 55.4 billion for North American sales. Now they're talking about between 87 and 93. So just keep this in mind. As we figure out how to handle this return policy, the sales are growing. They are growing more and more. You know, it's funny to me when people say, man, Amazon is saturated. I'm never going to sell on there. It's funny because those same people are going to Amazon.com and buying products from us third-party sellers. So while they're claiming it's saturated, they're actually making us money, which is kind of ironic. Now, let me first give you guys the bad news. Here's the bad news for you in light of this new policy. You will always run into what are called bottom feeder, and there's a double entendre to that term, by the way, bottom feeder buyers. I'm not just talking about people who are always looking for the lowest price and trying to drive your price down. I'm talking about people who will take advantage of the system, especially because people can hide behind a computer sitting there in their underwear. They're a lot more bold to do things that are shady and ungodly than if they had to talk to you face-to-face in a brick and mortar store when you own that store. So this is going to cause people to do stupid stuff like the kind of guy who buys a costume for Halloween, wears it, and then returns it in January. Hopefully it doesn't come back smelling like BO. Like, this literally is going to happen. If you are selling costumes for Halloween, you're probably going to get people who go use it and then they return it in January. That kind of sucks. And the fact is, that means we're not going to be making money on those products, depending on their reason for returning it. And most customers are smart enough to know if they say it was damaged or it wasn't what I expected or they complain, they're going to get their money back, which means you lose. Okay, so that's the bad news. The truth is, you will lose money on some sales. Now, you can accept that and ask, what can I do to fix it? Or you can just say, look, I give up, which some people are doing, which is sad to me. Now, let me give you the good news. The good news is expect more sales. By the way, how did you guys do on Prime Day? I'm just curious. The 2-day Prime Day, how did it go for you? Do you know that if you take all of these small, medium businesses on Amazon alone, there was 3.5 billion in sales on those days? Like, it's insane. What Amazon has done it's literally changing the face of the world. I don't know of a single country that isn't in some way affected by what Amazon has done. This is like, we're going to look back at this 100 years from now and say, this was a seismic size shift in the culture of the entire globe. So the sales are increasing. And the cool thing is when customers know they have this big fat return window, even though some of them are going to return your product without a legitimate reason for doing so, and you don't make money on the product, and ultimately you kind of lose money on it, not just don't make money, but all the time it took to manufacture it and get it sent in and the hassle, there are other customers who are going to buy more of your products because of this return window. Customers will start shopping earlier, not later. This means a boost in the fourth quarter. So Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, the winter solstice, New Year's, any holidays with gift exchanges, this is a motivation to drive them to your store. And at the end of this little training I do, I'm going to give you guys 7 specific things you can do to increase your sales and have a healthy perspective on this issue, if we even call it one. Okay, now, the next thing I want to share is this. If you built your product right, what are you worried about? Like, I really want to know. If you built your product right, yes, I know some customers will take advantage of you. I get it. It happens. No matter what business you run, I don't care if it's online or in a store, there are some customers who will take advantage of you. And if you take it personally, you're going to let that stop you. You have to get to a point where you just kind of shrug it off, and you move forward, and you do the best that you can. And I want to throw another question in there, and I'd love to get you guys' thoughts in the chat. Do you believe in this concept, the customer is always right? Do you agree with that? Do you think it's true? Is the customer always right? Is Amazon helping to feed the mentality that the customer is always right, even if they qualify as a bottom feeder? I would love to know your thoughts on that. If you built your product right, then the number of returns you should be receiving will be a lot lower than your competitors who are just trying to make a quick buck. Your job as a seller is not to meet their expectation. Your job is to surpass their expectation. There are only two kinds of reasons people leave reviews as a general rule. Either they were severely disappointed or they were mind blown and delighted beyond their expectation. So if you already built your product right, if your listing doesn't overpromise, it's a great listing, it needs to be to convert, but what they receive in the package is even better than what the listing showed in the photos and said in the copy, then that's a reason for a customer not to return the product. It's amazing to me how many people think that Amazon's return policy is actually going to control your business. It doesn't. You want to know who really controls your business? You. But Seth, what if they return? I can't help if they return. That's true. But it's your job to create a product that reduces the number of returns. This is an opportunity to take responsibility for your business, not whine and complain and give up and throw your hands in the air and say all doom has come. Now, there's a few exceptions I want you guys to be aware of based on product categories that apply. A couple of details you need to know. So let me just give you a scenario. Bobby McGee, he buys your marble set on October the 1st, okay? He can return it on January 31st. That's a 4-month window. Now let's switch it up. Bobby McGee buys an additional marble set on December 1st. He can return that item up until January the 1st. January 31st. Again, the January 31st is the cutoff, so a 2-month window. In other words, it has to be within October 1st and January 31st to have a full 4-month return policy. If they buy later than October 1st, which is already history, they still have up to January 31st to return that product based on this return policy. Second thing you need to know, on December 31st, the return window will go back to the normal 30-day period. So this isn't going to last forever. Also, if you sell FBM, the same return window now applies to you as well. In the past, Amazon sellers would switch from fulfilled by Amazon, where Amazon's fulfilling the orders, to FBM, fulfilled by Merchant, where we are fulfilling the orders, in order to avoid this extended return policy. And I think it's the wrong approach because it's playing defense. It's like, oh, shoot, what happens? They're going to return. Like, there's too much desperation in that. Your product and the experience you build for your customer should be so mind-blowing that what they get is really good value. Let me put it this way. The Amazon sellers who are succeeding are those who understand two things. They understand how to deliver amazing value, and they understand how to market that product on Amazon's platform. Those two things are so key. I have never seen an Amazon seller who didn't succeed, who didn't understand those two things, providing value, how to market. I have seen many Amazon sellers who understood how to provide value. They didn't know how to market on Amazon. That's the whole reason we built Amazon FBA Mastery. It was out of my own struggles and experience and what I learned, and it just grew into this community of thousands of people now where we train them step by step exactly how do you do this. That's why we have tons of videos inside the FBA Mastery. If you understand and hold on to those two things, I promise you it will make all the difference in the world. Now, I'm going to ask a question, then I'm going to answer it because this question most of you are going to have. Seth, what do I do when a customer returns my product to Amazon? If you sell FBA, that means Amazon handles your returns and your customer communication for you. But this does not mean that you just can be hands off. You need to understand the options. So the customer is going to select a reason when they decide to return it on why they're returning it. And here are the options they get to select from. No longer needed, which is pretty generic. Inaccurate website description. Item defective or doesn't work. bought by mistake, better price available, interesting one, product damaged but shipping box okay, item arrived too late, missing or broken parts, product and shipping box both damaged, wrong item was sent, received extra item I didn't buy, so no refund. That's a funny one. Like, I'm returning it because you gave me something else. Like, well, just keep it. It's a gift, guys. We've had people do this with our Amazon stores where we will put in a gift that they didn't expect. We did not advertise it on the listing, and they get it. And the whole point is to delight them. Every now and then they will return it and say, I didn't buy that. We're like, it was a gift. But thank you for your honesty. I wish all customers had that level of integrity. And then the last one is didn't approve purchase. Now, here's the process that Amazon goes through. It's actually quite simple. There's only 4 steps when they receive that return. First, they decide if your product is still sellable. Second, if the product is still sellable and not damaged, then they return it to your inventory as fulfillable, and Amazon will credit you the fees. Third, if the product is damaged and Amazon considers it their fault, like maybe when they delivered it and the box or the carrier or something happened in the warehouse that destroyed the product, then Amazon will credit your account for the sales price, for the fees that you paid, and the sales tax. And finally, number 4, let's say the product is damaged and Amazon deems it not their fault. In other words, this is your fault or the customer's fault. The unit is placed in your inventory as unfulfillable. And this is where you do need to do something. If you're selling on Amazon for any time, you probably have some products as unfulfillable. And Amazon will credit your account for their fee, but you have to decide if you're going to do a removal order or have Amazon dispose of the unit for you at a cost. You can actually go into your Seller Central account settings and set this up to be automatic so you never have products you have to go in and manage that way. You want me to wear that? Okay, I'll wear this for the Q&A part. Cool. Okay. My staff asked me to wear this for the Q&A. By the way, the thumbnail, people didn't even recognize it was me. It was like, Seth, it's still Santa Claus and we can't tell. All right. Okay, cool. Last thing, guys, I'm going to give you 7 ways you can turn this into your advantage. Then I'm going to go through all the questions here. I see Bobby McGee came up in the questions. This is awesome. We all love Bobby McGee and Lucy Pickleberry. So I'm going to give you 7 ways you can turn this to your advantage, and then I'm going to answer any questions that you have. All right, here we go. First of all, 7 ways you can respond. Don't stoop to a negative mindset. This is easy to happen. I just had someone on one of our members who is in our membership right now, FBA Mastery, and I'm going to share this with you guys. I will not share her name out of respect, obviously, but she was very, very, very upset. And I want to read something to you, what she said. So she basically said, yeah, you guys are just another one of those self-serving gurus. I'm not getting the help that I need. Everyone wants me to buy software. It's your software, isn't it? Don't you get a payment for it? And like just really upset. And as I listened to the email, I began to understand like she had real legitimate concerns, but she was frustrated. She tried to pay for a mold. She paid for CAD software. Like you don't need to do that if you're developing a product. Like she went all out. She bought insurance. She got an LC. Like she was really spending. And she was frustrated. And she was angry, and she turned that towards us. And so I sent her a text. I'm going to read it to you. It's here on my phone. I said, hey, blank. I'll just call her Lucy for substitute. This is Seth Kneat. Please give me a call when you have a moment. I want to hear what happened and how we can help. Now, I don't want you guys to get the expectation I call every single member when they run into a problem, because if I did that, I don't think I'd still be married today because I have no time left with my wife and my kids. But we felt like this justified a personal touch. And she said, wow, just wow. I'll call you back today. Right now, I just need to calm down. I honestly didn't think you, Seth, would contact me. I'm at my job right now, but I'll definitely, yes, get back to you. Let me gather the pieces of my brain that scattered as I listened to your voicemail. And I said, no problem. Then she wrote me back, and she said, through email conversations, Renee connected me to Eric Abbey. He's one of our coaches. Renee works in Warrior Success. And a meeting has been set up for Thursday evening. I was frustrated, but now there's a possibility and chance to succeed at this. I will put extra work into it when there's support like this. There isn't anyone close to me that understands what I'm doing. Do you ever feel like that? You're selling on Amazon, and maybe your spouse isn't there for you, your kids aren't, you don't have a business partner, and people around you kind of look at you and say, you're stupid, you're dumb, or they mock you. And you're like, what do you do? That hurts. That's hard. And it's hard not to let that go inside and affect how you, how you look at the world. And she said, I'm still stunned that you contacted me personally. The appreciation and respect for that action is sincere. Your enthusiasm, creative product thinking, and knowledge captured my interest into going into an Amazon business initially. Thank you. Now, I'm going to read my response, and please bear with me. I want you guys to hear this because I think this applies to so many Amazon sellers, and now she's ecstatic. And it goes to show when you have a customer, it doesn't matter if it's for coaching or for selling in Amazon, if you take the time to listen and try to understand where they're coming from, it makes all the difference in the world. With Amazon FBA, obviously you have limitations, but at the least, you can receive the feedback they give you on the product to improve your product. It's not the end of the world. Why not optimize? Why not learn from the feedback instead of saying, I'm better than that, you know? So this is what I said. I said, I'm really glad to hear this. Building a business is hard. Wouldn't you guys agree? And I'm sure you will run into more obstacles along the way. The key is recognizing these obstacles does not mean you did something wrong or anyone else did something wrong, but it's part of the process of growing into the kind of person you need to be in order to be successful. The hardest part to succeed at anything in life is not what we change around us, but what changes within us. I mean, ask me, ask my wife, ask my kids. We have had to change so much in order to succeed. We didn't just wake up one day as millionaires. We had to go through a lot of crap to get where we are today, and we still have to. Every day is an opportunity to grow. From what I can tell, you took on too much too quickly. Getting a product designer, buying a bunch of software tools, and all these other things really puts you at a disadvantage when you are just starting and your cash flow is low. It's better to start simple. For example, find a supplier that can make the changes in your product without having to hire a separate product designer. You don't need a bunch of software tools, just one good one or maybe two at the most, but definitely not any advanced version when starting out. And let me add this, guys. If you're just starting out, do not overthink it. Do not overcomplicate it. Yes, put your whole heart into it, but don't take all your money and just spend all of it to start, and then you're out on the street. That's not worth it. Be smart. Take one step at a time. Let me finish what I wrote to her. Products and businesses fail more than most entrepreneurs like to admit. But even if a product fails, that does not define you, nor does it mean that you failed. It means you were given a lot of life lessons to learn for launching the next product. Do you know how many products I have failed at when launching back in the early days? And I still sometimes fail. It's very slim now. It's not very often, but it still happens. I completely understand what it's like and how it feels to have limited capital. Don't forget, I was there once too. The key is realizing that you will fail along the way and you put in a plan for how to recover and keep going until you succeed. Look, I'm not trying to discourage you from pressing forward. I'm just trying to help you be super realistic. And it does not mean that your product will fail. It simply means failure is a part of the growing process, and that's really hard for new entrepreneurs or anti-capitalistic people to understand at first because it feels so counterintuitive and can be utterly discouraging. I added in the capitalistic comment just for fun. She's not anti-capitalistic. One more thing. What makes it not discouraging is understanding that it is part of the path to get where you want to be. Kind of like climbing a mountain. There are moments of pleasure and there are moments of pain, but the end goal keeps you going. So perspective is so powerful, you guys. If you choose to have a perspective that it hurts in some ways, but it also is going to actually see opportunity. You just enjoy life more. You're just happier. You sit down and you're not stressed out and worried and depressed. And yeah, we all have those moments, but it's a choice of perspective. Let me give you the second thing. Appreciate all of the extra sales that the holidays bring. You know, we took 6 of our Amazon stores and we looked at all of the sales and we broke it down into a percentage. In other words, if you just said, okay, your revenue, just simple example, $100,000 for this store. Let's break down the $100,000. What percentage of those sales, that revenue, was in January? What percentage was in February? Was in March? I'm going to give you the results. You ready? In January, 8% of the entire year sales were in January. 6% of the entire year sales were in February. 6% in March, 4% in April and May, 5% in June and July. You can see where it goes up and down, right? These Amazon sales. 6% in August, 7% in September, 8% in October. Now here it goes. November, 13% of the entire year sales were in November, and 28% were in December. 28% of the entire year sales were in 1 month. Now, instead of letting this discourage you if you aren't going to be launching before December, another December's coming. There is December 2021. There's December 2022. You're not in this for the short, quick buck. You're in this for the long haul. Remember that, because when you do that, it'll help you to have a healthy mindset. These little failures along the way aren't complete failures. They're just trials to help you grow and learn. Let me give you a third point. Appreciate the constructive feedback that your extra sales will bring. The more you sell, the more both positive and negative feedback you're going to get. Negative feedback is a gift. Yes, I know some people are going to be unreasonable. Some people won't be honest. You can't control that. It hurts a little bit. It'll go away. What you can control is how you respond. And I'll never forget one guy way back from the 1800s. He said he believes that in every criticism, even if it's a horrible criticism, there's at least 1% of truth in it. I believe that. There's always something you can learn from all the critical feedback you're going to get through reviews, through customers who are upset. And so use that to optimize. Don't look at it as like, hey, I got the perfect product. We're ready to launch and boom, we're good to go. No, you have a good product, but you're going to make it better and better and better over time as the market changes and as you learn from your customers. Number 4, market your product for the holidays with seasonal photos. You can right now go into your Seller Central account and switch out a few of those photos with seasonal stuff. Excuse me. I'll give you an example. And I say this understanding Amazon in their terms of service says you can't add this. I will also say that the vast majority of sellers who do well do use this. Have I ever seen Amazon, even slap someone on the wrist for it? I haven't. Do it at your own risk. But if you add like a little, let's say this is the photo right here, okay? You can add just a little ribbon right there in the corner to give it a holiday feel. You can add some accessory type items. And actually, the photo itself can have that. What I wanted to say is you're not technically supposed to have text on the photo, like happy holidays or perfect gift. We've done it before and it's worked really well. I see other people do it and our competitors do it. It works really well. So decide how far you want to go, but season up your listing. It can be the difference of tens of thousands of dollars because you took the time to switch out a couple of those photos and give it holiday appeal, or help people think creatively. What if your product would work really well as a gift for fathers, or as a gift for a teenager, or as a gift for a couple who's in love? Then theme it that way. Make it feel holiday. And I promise, as a result, if it's done right, your sales should go up. Can't promise that they will go up, but they should go up. Number 5, blow your customers' minds. Like if I buy your product today, I should be actually so blown away that I want to leave you a review. When you buy a product on Amazon, it shows up in your doorstep, you open it up and you're like, okay, cool. You're happy, but you're not blown away. Blow them away. Throw in an extra gift that you didn't talk about. Then send them a follow-up email using a card in the product to collect their email if they'll go to your landing page to say, did you get the gift? So they don't think like, oh, it was supposed to be in the listing, but I just didn't notice it. Or so they don't think it was an accident and they return it. Number 6, plan your inventory for the holiday sales level. This is really important. I'm assuming you've increased your inventory 40 to 80 to 120%, depending on the kind of product. If you're selling toys, you should probably be 300% more. If you're selling something that's not seasoned at all, at least double the inventory. But be smart about it, you guys. You will get more sales. You do not want to run out of inventory, have to close the listing while your competitors are making the money when those same buyers would have bought your product. Last but not least, number 7, churn returns, that's a tongue twister, churn returns into a positive brand experience. In other words, treat every customer as if they were being 100% honest with you. I know they're not all honest. I get that. But still listen and ask, okay, what do they dislike about my product? What can I do to change this? Resist the urge to take it personally, and you can absolutely leverage this to your advantage. Let me put it this way. The more you sorry, that sounded weird. The more you succeed or experience success, the more problems are going to come along with it. You have to realize it's part of the package, okay? I had someone message me this morning. It's like, man, I'm really scared as I'm doing these YouTube videos. You know, what if all of a sudden someone starts attacking me? I'm like, dude, it's just a matter of time. It's going to happen. It happens. The more you sell, the more you're going to get customers who are great and the bad ones. It's okay. The question is not, can you control it? Or are you going to run away and hide under a blanket? The question is, are you going to let it make you grow stronger? Okay, cool. That's it. That's all I got for today. I'm going to answer you guys' questions the best that I can. I'm looking over here at this screen where I can see them. Or down here is actually might be easier because that screen's really far away. But let us begin. What's up, Mano? Good to see you, brother. What's up, Sean? Good to see you, Gabriella. All right, guys, if you have any questions, chat them in the box now. If this content that we just gave to you for free, if it's been helpful, give a thumbs up on this video. All right, here we go. What's up, Ian? What's up, Bob? Good to see you, brother. Adilu, Karen, Miguel, John Martinez. All right, this is not any good for the seller, says John. I understand the cons. You're right. It does. I agree with you on this, John. It does create a disadvantage because some of the products are going to get returned that shouldn't be, and we don't make money on those. Well, depending on the reason they put in, but a lot of the times we don't make money on those. They get the reimbursement and like, okay, great. You know, we lose money on those. I get that. At the same time, though, it'll also increase your sales. So I would look at it this way. Yes, my returns go up, but also my sales go up. So at the end of the day, I believe you should be more profitable, not less, all things considered equal. Especially if you built your product in a way that is amazing to the customer. Like your return rate is already really low in your product, so there's a strong chance they would keep it regardless, unless it's a Halloween costume. All right, what's up, Sal? Seth, how's Dakota doing? He's doing great. I don't even know if he's in here right now. Hey, Coda. He's in the other room. I'll bring him in a minute. Dakota is the mascot of Just One Dime. If you guys haven't seen him, he's our very fuzzy mutt dog, and he's got puppy love dog eyes. All right. Please do more content for beginners. Yes, we've been told this multiple times, myself and Dan Gaston. It's funny because as we've grown, our content's kind of grown with it, and it's become more and more advanced. If you look up some of my older YouTube videos, they're more basic, but I appreciate that. That's really good feedback. And that's one of the reasons I love working with new sellers. It helps me not to forget what's it like to be new at this. I take terminology for granted all the time. I need to remind myself. If I say FBM, well, explain what that means. You know, is that the acronym for your uncle? No, it means fulfilled by merchant. Great feedback. If someone returns, of course you lose a sale, but are you refunded the shipping costs you pay as a seller? So it depends. The FBA fees, if you're doing FBA, then yes. Because those fees, Amazon sent that out, then you would get that back. If the product is deemed as Amazon's fault, they did something wrong with it. If you are shipping the product FBM, I would highly recommend you charge shipping at least as much as the shipping costs. Sometimes you go a little bit higher to cushion because some shipping to different places can cost more. And in that case, you would also be refunded, again, if the customer is returning it. Great question. What is up? No for advanced seller. It sounds like a hell, but we have to crush it as well. Well said, Alex. I agree with that. Wow, what a long time. Will Amazon send the customers money after 2 weeks as usual? Yep, I answered that question already. This is really low muffled sound. EJ, are we good on the sound? Sounds good on your end? Okay, cool. All right. Prime Day was 30% better in sales, but spent 50% more in PPC, so margin was a little worse than what it is now. But my sales today are now a little higher daily since Prime Day. This is actually a great example, Living the Dream. And guys, listen to what Living the Dream shared. The idea here is you might advertise a lot more during a day like Black Friday or Prime Day or some special event like Mother's Day if your product is perfect for mothers, and your profits actually might go down. But the cool thing is because more people are buying, now what's happening is Living the Dream is experiencing more sales because he or she is ranking better. In a sense, what happened for you is Prime Day acted as a boost for your sales, almost like an advertising campaign. However, Amazon says those who abuse the return policy can be banned from the platform. Amazon probably won't ship from anyone from spending money, though. Yeah, and the truth is, guys, as a general rule, Amazon does side with the customer. Just going to be blunt. They do. Does that mean you're doomed? Does that mean they're evil? Does that mean all is lost? No. The reason you get so many buys on Amazon is because they side with the customer. So it's like a double-edged sword. Yeah, on one side, that's great. That means there's more buyers. On the other side, it can put you at a disadvantage in some moments. But if you're focused just on this one return policy and you let it like leak into your entire business plan, that's not healthy. It's just one part of your business. It's just one quarter. It's just one dime. You see what I mean? It's a challenge and an opportunity, and treat it as such. I think what happens is we traumatize things like, oh my goodness, the world is ending. No, it's not. You're breathing. You're sucking oxygen right now. Let's keep going. Let's learn from this. See the difference in perspective? And all of a sudden you feel good and you're happy. All right. Bobby spends a lot. Yes, he does. Do I understand it right? From January 31st, the return policy returns back to previous policy. Correct. No, December 31st it does. So someone who bought in December would still get till January 31st, but December 31st, from then on, then it's back to the 30-day return policy. Great question. What's up, Miguel? Sign up and earn here. Where are we signing up, my friend? Okay, Denise says, Prime Day ran sale on 2 items, via sale price, start date, end time. Both now link, item not found, back and forth with support. They say category missing. Any ideas? Yes, Denise. First of all, if you go from Seller Central and click on the link to your product, does it actually show up? That's my first question. If it doesn't, then you definitely have a back-end system issue. Second, are you indexed at all? If you type in the ASIN plus the main keyword in the search bar, does your product show up for your main keyword? If it doesn't, that means it's an indexing issue. Okay, first is a back-end issue. Second is an indexing issue. Third, be persistent. Like there's literally nothing else you can do other than wait until they get back to you and keep asking them. But I would first do those 2 things to check to find out why that listing is not showing up. Amazon needs to pay us in Bitcoin. I love it. What's up, Chris? Encourages people to make holiday purchases earlier, hopefully reducing the huge spike normally seen. Seems like a win, flatten the curve. This is actually really insightful what Chris is saying. What he's saying is typically, as you saw, you heard what I said, right, guys? In December, from 6 of our Amazon stores, over 25%, 28% to be exact, of all of our revenue is in December. What Chris is saying is maybe we'll have a little more revenue October, November as well, and December comes down a little to even it out. Because when you have spikes, even though that's cool and all, that also creates a new challenge for your business, like inventory, keeping in stock. Unexpected changes, even positive ones, are a challenge for any entrepreneur. What is up, Drew? May we skip Christmas? Maybe we skip Christmas. I don't understand the question, my friend. Roger says, hey, Seth and Jod team, brilliant quality as usual. What should we consider an acceptable return percentage? During the holidays, anything above 4% would be considered quite high and would hurt your Seller Central account. Now, sometimes Amazon will lax the standards on returns because they know returns are going to be higher. So just expect this, guys. In January, you're going to be living in a world of returns. Do not get depressed and go out and get drunk in January, okay? It's part of the process. Just like you're going to party in December, you're going to trudge through in January. I have nearly 80% of funds needed for done for you. I want to make sure it's my excess funds and not funds I need. I 100% agree with you, Denise. Should I apply now or wait until I have 100%? Do this. Send me an email so you can book a meeting with our team so we can figure out your situation. Done for you, even though we have certain standards, it is not a cookie cutter kind of thing because every person is different and we're looking for long-term growth with you guys. All right. I removed my items from Amazon FBA during free removal promotion. Amazon only allows me limited quantities for these items. Have you heard or struggled with the same problem before? Any advice? Yes. So when you're talking about limited quantities, I'm assuming you're talking about sending them back in, correct? Are you talking about the 200 limit? If that's the case and you're working with a supplier, ask them to send in the first 200, hold on to the remaining, 1,800, and then send in the remaining. Let me know if that's what you're talking about, my friend. All right. Paul Chamberlain, I want to know what you said. Your message was restricted for some reason, my friend. All right. What percentage rate, if any, do you up your PPC advertising in November and December? I do it by increments. So for 1 week, I'll go up 5%. I'll see how it goes. If my A cost is still low and I'm getting sales, I just keep going up and up. Here's my philosophy. If I have to spend $1 to make 2, why not spend 2 and make 4? Why not spend 4 and make 8? See what I mean? So I let that guide me, and I do it per product. I don't have a a shotgun approach where all of my products get the same strategy. Each product has to have its own PPC strategy. So I'll go up a few percentage and see how that goes, and then heighten it, and then heighten it. Here's another strategy, and I'll do this sometimes. I will start in November with a super aggressive PPC. Like I'll raise it 50, 100%, and just do that for 10 days. Then look at all the data. That quickly tells me very fast two things. How can I make my listing better? And second, is this worth a very aggressive PPC strategy? If it wasn't worth it, then I'll just bring it down. Now keep in mind, sometimes you use an aggressive PPC strategy to get more sales, and yes, your profits get a little thin for a while, but that increases the ranking. So by day 20, day 22, day 24, you're ranking organically better. So you can drop your PPC budget, but still get the same sales, but now bigger profit margin. See what I mean? By the way, guys, in FBA Mastery, we have all of this covered. Like literally, we have multiple videos and multiple strategies that talk about how to set up your PPC campaign with bid up, bid down, all of that with FBA Mastery. So if you guys are not a member and you're thinking, man, I want to get in on this now, make sure you click the link below in this video to find out more. Okay. You can revisit the recording of this episode. Thank God that's only applicable till January 31st. Yeah, GLocal, if they said it was going to apply all year, I'd be like, okay, my goodness, I feel like I need to change my entire business strategy for how I sell on Amazon. What is a good return rate? I already answered that. Let me see. Okay, man, a lot of questions. Items removed from Amazon FBA during free removal promotion. Amazon only allows me limited quantities of 3 units. Gotcha. Yeah, I got you. Okay, I have not experienced this because the way I have my account set up is I don't do the removals myself. I have Amazon automatically dispose of them. I don't want to take the time. For me, it's a waste of time. Earlier in the days, it made sense. I would literally have them removed, shipped to my house, check them. Well over half of them were in great condition. Oh, nice customer. They said it was damaged so they could get their money back. Fine. And I would ship them back in again. At some point, you're going to value your time more than your money because when you do that, you end up making more money. You just set it up in your system and you just go to settings, return settings, and you never want to do removal orders again at some point, in my opinion. But I couldn't answer this question because I'm not doing that. Hey, Seth, do you know if the 200 units are global or per marketplace? Currently, they are for the U.S. Amazon.com that I am aware of. I am not aware that that is the issue for any other marketplaces. And I can tell you one of the reasons is because Amazon.com sells so well. People ask me all the time, Seth, where should I? Okay, hold on. I'll do it. There we go. People ask me all the time. They say, Seth, where should I start? Should I start on Amazon.co.uk, Amazon.ca, Amazon.mx? Start with .com. Why? Because you're going to make more money faster. Yes, it's more competitive, but that's okay. There are people searching in Amazon for products that don't even exist yet every day. There's so many little gems and gold mines where you can do it. Our issue now is not, oh my goodness, where do I find a good product to sell? Our issue is the time to launch all the products that we want to launch. And that's a good place to be. Notice how I said time? Time is that one of those assets that will disappear so quickly the more your business grows. And that's why over time you begin to value your time more. That's why Done For You has done so well, is because there are people with capital and they're like, Seth, just one dime, build the Amazon store for me. Like, I don't want to do it. Build it for me. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, you guys do all the work. We'll invest. We'll make money together. Fine. No problem. You got it. All right. I am not a seller now on Amazon. I have furniture shop. Can you help me sell my items in Amazon? I will give you 10% of the profit. So right now, Ishabad, we are not doing any kind of business partnerships with other people. We already have multiple, and I don't want to take on more. Like, for example, we're doing the Amazon store for Kevin Harrington's business for, I can't say the product, but I would just say it's one of their businesses. So, and that takes a lot of time. So this is the guy from the first 2 seasons in Shark Tank. So currently the answer is no. However, if you want us to build an Amazon store for you, you don't do any of the work, we can do that. Just send me an email, seth@justwhatdime.com. Seth, I tested, says Denise. Link from Seller Central shows a dog, and putting ASIN and keywords in search bar does not bring up my products. Got it. So it is definitely a back-end issue. Something happened. Did you change anything with the category? That's really weird. It sounds like your inventory was lost, but your listing somehow got completely banned. Do you have any warnings and notifications from Seller Central? That's a really weird situation. All right, let's keep going. What's up, Jace? Seth, I'm a starter. Amazon deactivated my account, asking for a utility bill of some kind to verify. Do you guys know that's the most common question I get? I get 2 questions. Where do you get your energy from? And why did Amazon deactivate my new selling account? It's super unrelated to each other. Those are the 2 questions I get all the time. I'll answer the one about the account. Your utility bill, the address on it and the name on it need to match the what's the right word? Identity, either you or your company, and the address for Amazon. So for example, if I said I'm selling as a sole proprietor, my name is Seth Kniep, and I live at 8516 Anderson Mill Road. By the way, if anybody you guys want to come by and visit us here in Austin, we're here. Come by and say hi. 8516 Anderson Mill Road, Suite 200, Austin, Texas, 78729. So you need to make sure that the name of the identity, if it's you, okay, so your name is JC Fan, and the address that you put into Seller Central matches that of the utility bill. If you open an LLC and you have a name for the company utility bill, make sure it matches that. Now, a lot of people say, Seth, that doesn't make sense. I open an LLC. How would my utility bill have the same address as the LLC? I get it. You're not going to open an office tomorrow. You want to start selling on Amazon. May not ever want an office. Here's what you do. You call up a utility company. You say, look, I understand that you are providing electricity to our home address right now. I would like to change the mailing address, not the service address, but the mailing address to this P.O. box. And that P.O. box is the same as your LLC. Then send that in and they should match. You should be fine. Don't get frustrated. This is like a very common issue, but it's very easily surmountable, conquerable, get overable. I don't know, one of those words. All right, should we give a holiday appeal to the main photo or to one of the others? The main photo, Miguel. What's up, Paul, brother? Seth personally rang me once after I blew up and took all of my frustrations out on Jod. Renee and Seth handled the situation beautifully and turned my anger into love. This is what you have to do. Thank you, brother. That means a lot, Paul, and thank you for sharing that. And I just want to say, you know, we talk a lot about this around the office. You guys have heard me say this. The main assets are people, time, knowledge, money. They all matter. Are we in this for money? 100% we are. We want to make money. Yes, we are. What about knowledge? How much does that matter? Well, you can't grow a business if you don't have knowledge. Well, what about time? Well, once you spend time, you can't get a refund on it. What about people? You get all three in the others. See what I mean? So just remember this. At the end of the day, if you value people, you're going to be a happier person. I didn't start selling on Amazon because I needed to be rich. I sold on Amazon because I wanted freedom. That's the point. What does that go back to? My wife, my kids, our team here. You see what I mean? That's really, really important, you guys. It's crazy how you change something negative into something positive, still pulling my hair out to find a product, but taking away the main point that we should make the best possible product. Yeah, absolutely, Majid. And I hear you. And guys, listen, when you are searching products, don't get too caught up emotionally. Here's what happens. You find a product, you really like it. And then you go, kind of like Gollum when he's looking at the ring. He's like, oh, look at this product. And then you find that product. And then you look this one. And before you know it, your emotions have gone from one product to the next. Almost like switching out partners constantly. It's emotionally draining and exhausting. So what you want to do is let the facts drive you. What are the margins in this product? What is the demand? What is the differentiation opportunity? What is the ease of entry? Do at least 3 of the top competitors have under 100 reviews on this product to make it easy for me to break into this market? See where I'm going? That makes all the difference in the world because now you're letting the numbers drive you instead of emotions. And when you do that, it's less exhausting. Your mind doesn't feel like oatmeal, and you actually start making decisions based on the analytics. Let me know if that makes sense. Seth, I'm launching my first product this Friday. Congratulations, Uchicha. Should I sign up for the FBA new selection program? It is completely up to you. I haven't used it. From what I have heard, the reviews have not been great. Again, I can't speak to it personally, so you can try it. We've had multiple encounters with account managers from Amazon. I just had someone email me the other day where Amazon will give you an account manager to help your product. There's this company in Los Angeles. They sell chocolate. And they've been through multiple Amazon account managers and asked, would we help their store because they haven't been helpful? Here's what I've experienced. Although Amazon has an amazing platform and they treat customers well, when it comes to actually how to sell on Amazon, how to promote a product, from that perspective, I've had to learn everything by myself and through other Amazon experts, not through them, if that gives you perspective. Seth, let's say initially open Amazon account under home address, okay? Later change the Amazon account to corporation and corporate address. Do we need to again send the proof for corporation address? Not unless they tell you. So in other words, you can do that. Just make sure you change it at the same time. I've done this multiple times with multiple accounts. Never had an issue. Never did they come back and say, we need you to send documentation. But here's one thing I'd be careful about. If you just opened your account, I wouldn't change it right away. I would wait. Wait till you're selling for 90 days. Here's the funny thing about Amazon. The more you sell, the more grace they give you. the more slack they give you. I don't mean grace light because you did something wrong. I mean, they're just less persnickety. So when we opened a new account last year in July, we got it up to over 100,000 a month by this last March. We shared live on Instagram constantly showing, hey, look what we're doing. Just to show you guys, you don't have to be an old-time seller to succeed. You can be a new seller. During that time, we made no changes at all. None on the account because Amazon can get a little picky. Once you have sales coming in for a while, at least 90 days, then it's a lot easier to upgrade. Great question. I removed my items from Amazon FBA during, oh yeah, we already took that one. All right. Nay, Maddox. I just returned something. I did pay shipping for return. I have nearly 80% of funds needed for done for you. Okay, we already answered that one. Sorry, guys. I'm going backwards, so I'm starting to see some of the same questions. Okay, cool. All right. RMC, what happened, my friend? Okay, Denise, no warnings or infractions. I created the original ASIN, says Denise. The only thing I did was run a sale using the sale price fields. Wish I hadn't. I don't think you should wish you hadn't. You didn't do anything wrong by doing that, Denise. This is really weird. You're going to have to contact Amazon and ask them what the heck is going on. And I'll be very persistent. Don't get rude. Be persistent. Like dripping water, don't stop. They need to figure this out. Because if you have to start a whole new listing, that means your ranking starts over. You have to spend money on PPC to get the same ranking. Seth, is it against Amazon policy to include email on the insert card, or is it one of those things that's worth taking the risk? In my opinion, guys, it is absolutely 100% worth taking the risk. I've done it so many times now, I cannot count, thousands and thousands. I've never been punished for it. I actually asked one of the Amazon speakers who spoke at our conference in 2019. 4 people from Amazon came out. 3 of them spoke. And I specifically asked him, I said, what do you think of that? He said, Seth, it's a gray area. In my personal opinion, it's not going to be an issue. And it never has been. It is a gray area. They say you can't drive customers to another platform. What does that mean? You can't do it on their platform, or you can't do it inside the physical box? Do you think they're going to have a robot go into those boxes and check for card inserts? I don't think so. So I would do it. We've been doing it. And again, you do it at your own risk. If something blows up, don't blame me. I just gave you my opinion. All right. I used the BIL to list in Canada and Mexico. Right image, but wrong product description. Going in circles. Wrong description. Yeah, John, you're going to have to give me more information, my friend, to understand how to answer that question. Roman says, I have a good product, but I got a few negative ones from the Vine Customer Review Program. It did not discourage me, amen. It only strengthened my belief that my product could even be better. Well said, Roman. I totally agree with you. Guys, I'm telling you, this is what I love about business. It applies to all of life. It influences how I treat my children, how I treat my wife. It influences how I manage my money, how I treat my body, how I talk to staff. It's all freaking connected. That's what I love about it. Business isn't just capitalism and making money. It's more than that. It's personal. It goes back to your core beliefs. It goes back to growth. And this perspective, I love, Roman. That's the right perspective because you're learning. Does it hurt? Yes. Be honest about the pain, but don't let it defeat you. Don't even think it does because it doesn't. You're stronger than that. All right. Let me keep going. I am not a seller now in Amazon. Oh, yeah. You talked about the furniture shop. Okay. Let me just take a couple more. We're wrapping this up. No problem, Fernando. You got it, brother. I was recently approved for brand, says Roger, and I'm assuming you mean your brand name on your listing, not brand registry. There's a big difference between the two. I could not create a brand page. Seller Central said my Canada and Mexico stores are deactivated. I never registered for, yeah. Don't even worry about it. If they've been deactivated, you're not planning on selling there, it doesn't matter. If you plan on selling there, go for it and ask them what's going on. I wouldn't even worry about it. It's irrelevant. Congratulations getting approved for your brand. Seth, I'm about to send the payment to Done For You, but I have a lot of thoughts. Any words of encouragement? Yes, Juan, absolutely. First of all, we got a lot of online criticism for Done For You. And so it was actually good. It was helped us to really think how we can be perceived. First, there was a lot of positive feedback from people who know Just One Dime. They've watched us, they followed us. Then people who don't know us started to criticize, like, you're a scam, blah, blah, blah. Couple things. First of all, a scam, sorry guys. A scam is something where people are saying one thing, doing another, where we were just super open. And apparently we got criticized for being super open. At the worst, call it a bad deal. It doesn't mean it's a scam. Scam is like you're being sneaky and changing stuff and, you'll get this, but then give you something else. That would be a scam. That means lying, deceiving, trying to trick you into something versus saying, here are the fees. We've always focused on trying to be as transparent as possible. But a couple things. We include a sliding scale in the contract, which means On every sale, we don't make money unless you do. The contract requires this. It's a sliding scale. So let me give you an example. If the product was 0 to 10% profitable, now hopefully it'll be a lot more profitable than that, you get the profit, we get nothing. If the product was anywhere from 10% or technically 0 to 9.999%, then we get nothing, you get the profit. If it's 10% up to right under 15%, then we only get 5% revenue. If it's 15 up to 20%, we get 10% revenue. See where I'm going with this? And once it's at least 30% profitable, we would get 15% revenue. In other words, we set it up so that we can't make money unless you do too. And we partly did that because people were saying, look, it's a scam. You're taking 15% revenue. If it's not profitable, then it's not fair. Well, I'm not interested in doing this with people and turning them into enemies. I want to grow with these people. I want long-term growth as a team. I love these people. We get to collaborate in so many ways. Like, we're on a text-based relationship. Isn't that cool? Like, there's so many opportunities to grow with people. It's a network. So I want to help with any insecure feelings you may have. We include that in there just to show you our intention. And a lot of our investors, when we came back and said, look, we're having a sliding scale, they said, Seth, I didn't need this because I know you guys. I've seen you for years. I trust you, but I really appreciate it because I can see what you're doing. It's a smart move. So that's the first thing I want to share. Second, don't expect to make money for 3 to 6 months. Like, let's be realistic. It takes time to build these products, to find the suppliers, to differentiate them. All of that is going to take time. So to be super realistic, I would expect us to launch for 3 to 6 months and then give it at least a couple more months to actually start receiving profits. So if you're in a situation where you're like, Seth, I got to make money right now, don't do it. But if you're like, Seth, here's money over here. I'm divorcing myself from this money. I could lose every penny. Absolutely 100%. Just like when you invest in a company, there's no guarantee you're going to get the money back. The company doesn't do that. That's not how investing works. However, I believe that you guys will grow this because it's in your favor and ours. So I want to invest this money and then wait. If you're in this for the long-term goal, we can make a ridiculous amount of money together doing it. And we actually have a pro forma sheet which breaks down percentages and everything. It's very complicated. It's kind of boring, but it's still super cool. So I hope that's helpful. If you have any other questions, feel free to shoot me an email. I love the festive photo idea. As always said, thanks for your awesome advice. Absolutely, Miguel. Guys, can I share something really cool with you? Sometimes it's the smallest changes in your life that make the biggest difference in the world, even on your listing. Sometimes we have taken a product and just raised the price $5, $6, $7, and the conversion will go up like 5, 6, 7%. That may not seem huge. That is huge when you're doing like 20,000 sales over a 2-3 month period. That's a lot of money. Now, why is that? Well, because the perceived value went up. I'm not saying that's going to work with every product, and that's why I love PickFu. By the way, I am an affiliate with PickFu, so I'm biased, but I'm still going to share. We use their service. It's amazing. A lot of our clients do. The way it works is you can put up one photo and another photo and test and see which one's converting better. Now they have all these other options with copy and other stuff. Basically, it's a way to get real life data for a low price instead of launching on Amazon, spending a ton of money on PPC, and then finding out, oh my goodness, this photo sucks. This one's the one I should have used. See what I mean? Sometimes, you guys, it is the smallest things in life that make the biggest change. Now, I know I'm kind of going off topic here, but please indulge me. Sometimes I will send a text to my wife, and I will say something so simple. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to scroll back. The simplest thing changes so much. I got to find an appropriate one to share with you. You look so hot today. Like, that means the world to her. Just a little word, a little tweak, a little shift in perspective, a little bit of a, wait a minute. I don't see half empty glass. I see half a cup of tea. And it's really good. You see what I mean? It's the little things that make such a big difference. Where we go wrong is where we get so caught up into one thing and you let it destroy your life. You don't have to live like that, you guys. You are freaking stronger than that. You are so much stronger than that. Talk to our staff. Like, they demonstrate this. Sometimes they have to deal with really nasty people. Sometimes they deal with amazing people. But at the end of the day, they have a mindset of, we're going to help people. We're going to grow. We're going to make a difference in the world. And I love that. That's why right down the street, we are building a coffee shop, Just One Dime Coffee Shop. So people like you, when you come to Austin, we can sit down and have a latte or black tea together. By the way, it'll be vegan food. Hope you don't mind. And we can hang out. And then there's going to be a winding staircase going up to our new offices. How cool is that? Hey, I just stole a Mini Coats quote. He always used to say, how cool is that? Okay, cool. Miguel, send me an email. I don't remember the affiliate link, but just send me an email. Send it to help@justonedime.com, and I can handle that, and they can send it to you. Do I know good suppliers in the U.S.? Only for a few of my products, and I'm not going to give those away, Ed. And the way you find a supplier in the U.S. is you go find a supplier that makes something similar. You contact the manufacturer, you meet with them, and you ask them what their MOQs are and their prices. Great question. So, Roger, you got Brain Registry approved. That is so awesome. That I love it. Idrissa says, hello, One Dime. My wife wants to start on Amazon business. I try to convince her to your help because I would like your videos. Tell me how she can start with that. So there's two ways, guys. We do offer free training, okay? And at the free training, we do pitch our membership. And I know some people say, oh, you're a scam. Well, that's marketing. That's not scammy. It's become trendy now to call people scammers. It's like the new thing now. And people are making a lot of money on their YouTube videos with ads doing it. I'm not saying it's all bad, but it's just perspective. There's two things she can do. First, she can try our free training. It's 90 minutes of straight up training. For the remaining 15 to 20 minutes, I talk about our membership, and there's a pitch, and there's a discount. Total transparency, justonedime.com/start. That training will help her a lot if she doesn't want to invest in the membership. If she does want to invest in the membership, instead of going to justonedime.com/start, have her go to justonedime.com/freedom. And that is where you are in for life. What we do is train you 2 to 3 hours every week. There's no end. As long as we're alive and around, we continue to train you. Over 200 videos, over 500 slides, lots of quizzes to test your knowledge, a community of people who actually care about your success, coaches who are extremely successful. They, just for the record, guys, our coaches are required to take screenshots of their Seller Central account. Ask them. Go ask them. They have to send those in to us to show us not only are they growing their Amazon store, but they also have to send us profit and loss sheets so that they are actually making money. This is really, really key because in a world where there's a lot of people claiming stuff because it's also trendy to sell courses, we have to make sure that our coaches know what they're talking about and are doing a great job so the knowledge coming from them is real life knowledge, not just something they pulled out of thin air. So justonedime.com/freedom. And for those of you guys who asked about the Done For You program, if you want us to build an Amazon store for you, you will need capital. Okay, you'll need not only $30,000 up front in fees for us doing the work, combining our 50 plus years of combined experience to build it for you, you will also need enough funds for the products themselves. So you're easily looking at $45,000, $60,000, $70,000 ultimately to get this thing going. Now we build it in a way so that ideally, we can't make this a promise, you don't have to put another investment of capital in to keep that product selling because you're using the extra profits to buy new inventory to keep scaling. That's the goal. So that's for people who have capital, but they don't have the time. They don't want to take the hassle to learn how to do it. That's Done For You. And again, just for the record, because again, people criticized us and called us a scam and evil and all these things, there is a sliding scale agreement which ensures that we don't make money unless you make money too on the sale. We're not talking about the fees. We're talking about the sale. I'll just give you a simple example. If this were to sell for $100, and I promise you it doesn't. If this were to sell for $100, okay, and let's just say, for example, let's go with 40% profit, okay? 40% profit on this product, all right? Let's just say before any Just One Dime fees. That means you would get paid $25 and we would get paid $15 when it sells. Does that make sense? The sliding scale is set up so that you actually make more money than we do. Never will we make more than you on the sale. And again, we put that in there in response to show people, here's our intention, here's our heart. That is justonedime.com/DFY, which stands for Done For You. Hope that's helpful. Okay, cool. Guys, I hope this has been super, super helpful. I just want to say one last thing, guys. Listen, at the end of the day, let's just forget Amazon just for a minute. It's my last words, I promise, because staff are saying, Seth, you need to wrap it up. You're talking forever. Okay, last thing. At the end of the day, whether you're saying, look, I want Just One Dime to build a store for me. Sure, justonedime.com/DFY. Go for it. Or I want to get their training. justonedime.com/freedom. Sure, go for it. Or like, I'm not interested in either. I just want to change my life. I want to learn. I want to make money. There are other ways out there to make money too. You could do real estate. You could go this is what we used to do. You could go lease a condo or an apartment, make sure the landlord's cool with this, and then sublease it out short-term rental. Just stay away from HOA. They're like hell. But that'll make you a lot of passive income. It's amazing. There's so many ways you can make money right now. The issue, I promise, the struggle is not what's around you. It's not the economy. It's not politics, okay? There's a lot of crappy stuff going on in the world. I get that. A lot of negativity. I'd stop listening to the news. Do I ever feel better about my country when I watch the news? Heck no, and I'm sick of listening. It's like, it's stupid. They're always angling stuff as evil and dark and negative as possible. It's toxic. I don't want to live like that, right? I see amazing people in the world. Then I go listen to the news. And I'm like, wait a minute, something's off here. I'm not saying all the news is bad. My point is, your success depends on what you do, not what people around you do. No one can make you rich. There's no special 3 steps to becoming rich. That's bullcrap. Can you grow your investments? Yes. Can you make money? Yes. Will you fail a lot? 100% yes, baby. I promise you will fail. And that is part of the package. You know what's beautiful about it? You will grow as a person. You will grow. You will become stronger. Every single heartache, every single tear, every single time where I felt depressed, discouraged, tired, or my marriage was hurting, or I felt like I was a failure as a parent, or I was broke. And trust me, I still struggle with these things. I'm not broke, but I still struggle with other things. I still do. They are a gift. They are a gift of grace to me. And if you don't believe in God, I still love you, but I believe they came from God who loves me, who gave his life for me. They were a gift from him to help me to become the person I was supposed to be. You can't put a price tag on that. Just if you walk away with anything, walk away with that today. Go out and live your life with a full heart. And don't get discouraged and do not give up. Because there are some people in this world who actually care, who are sincere, and who will fight for you. You guys have an awesome day. This is Seth, keeping it real. I'm out.